First, I'd like to share a couple of stories with you, and as I do, I want you to consider stories from your own lives and the impact that those stories had on you. So first one is, my girlfriend and I visited Paraguay recently in South America. And on our way back, we were traveling through Brazil. That was where our connection was. And as we walked up to the ticket counter, we needed to, excuse me. As we walked up to the ticket counter, we needed to do our transfer with our tickets. We had paper tickets, and so we needed to get our seats assigned. And I was traveling using points, and Maggie was traveling with a regular ticket. We wanted to make sure we were going to sit together. As we approached the counter, the lady behind the counter was on the phone and just carrying on and giggling about her weekend. And so we approached the counter, and she looked up, didn't say anything, waited for us to say something. And we gave her our passports and our tickets, and she was going to help us get these tickets turned into assigned seats. And for the next 31 minutes, we timed it, she stayed on the phone, giggling and laughing about her weekend, right? You guys are such a good audience. You're like feeling my pain, right? So, occasionally she'd peck away at the computer, but, she was just carrying on like this for 31 minutes, we just couldn't believe it. And, we felt like we were interrupting her personal life. Some of you might be thinking, why didn't you say something? And, well, the fact is, I was traveling again using points, and there was an overcharge on my points. They actually overcharged me by 25,000 points. And we were under the impression that she was going to be able to resolve this issue. So we couldn't really say anything to her, between a rock and a hard place. So anyways, we're on our way to the gate. We board the plane, and we're following these seat numbers. We get to the very last seat on the plane, right? She stuck us in the very last row on a 777 that was 2/3 empty on a 9-hour red-eye flight home. Right? Okay, so I want you to contrast that story with this one. Last week I was meeting someone at La Madeleine. How many of you have been to La Madeleine? Almost everybody. Okay, so you know what it looks like inside. It's cafeteria style. You grab a tray, you make your way down, you get your food, and you pay at the end. Well, they've also got a cashier and a cash register at the very front. So if you're just getting a coffee, pastry to go, something like that, you can get it, be on your way. And there's especially one in Tyson's, I know, has an area in the front with like window seating and like a little waiting area. So I get there and I set my stuff on the window ledge, and the lady behind the cash register, she comes up and she walks from behind the register and hands me a menu. And yeah, and so I said, actually I'm waiting for somebody. I'm like 20 minutes early, so it's going to be at least 20 minutes before I come through the line and get something to eat. The manager overheard me say this, and he says, if you'd like, we can get you a coffee or like a cafe latte or whatever you'd like, and you don't even have to worry about paying for it just yet. You can just pay us later as you come through the line. And I thought, wow, that was nice. I want to talk to you about professionalism, and I want you to notice that while it may be difficult to define professionalism, we can certainly detect it. And so we know when it's there and when it's not. And we know when we're experiencing it and when we're not. And I want you to think of professionalism for tonight's purposes under this definition. Think of professionalism as setting a standard below which you refuse to go, even when others around you are compromising theirs. It has me think of a scene out of Titanic. Who saw Titanic? This is a loaded question. Everybody's seen Titanic, right? The ship is sinking, and there's utter chaos and pandemonium and a lack of integrity, and it's every person for themselves. And all the while, the professional band continues to play, right?